Okay, this is branding for beginners. I learned this years ago when I didn't even have a brand. You are your brand. You are your business. So it's brand to brand, business to business, but also you, your ethics and morals, and theirs, right? Seeing if y'all actually align. So I know my channel is spirituality and business and vlogging and family and health. So I just decided that it's personal development. Personal development. That's the brand. I'm a fractal. Personal development. I was thinking collective consciousness and personal development, but whatever. Not gonna go into that one. So, what are your ethics and morals? What makes you... I just received a text message. A lot of people want to rebrand because they fuck up their ethics and morals to begin with. They display that they don't give a fuck about the customer. They don't have great customer service. That's why no customers want to be a part of their fucking service, you know? You learn early on that your customer's not always right, but your customer is important. Treat your customer like a human being and not just a fucking paycheck. Not just money coming in. That's a human. Treat your employees like they're human because they are. Get this from the get-go. So you don't have to rebrand. Treat people how people should be fucking treated. I don't know, to me it's just... I'm from the South, I don't know if other people were raised with the Southern hospitality and morals and ethics and principles. I feel like they have. You know, you ain't gotta smile at me to fucking greet me type shit. Cause I know I lived in the North too, and I was like, man, y'all are a bunch of rude motherfuckers up here. But I'm used to the Southern hospitality. I'm used to it. So anyways, you display all of this. Your reputation is already going. Who you are. You demonstrate what is important to you. And who you are is important because let's say for my brand, okay? We'll discuss that in a second. Let's say for my brand, personal development. A lot of people in personal development, I've noticed, haven't been through a lot of shit. I'm trying not to minimize their experience, right? Because something that's easy for me is, you know, might be hard for someone else. So context matters. Context matters. What have you done? What were your struggles? How did you overcome them? What are your wins? How did you pivot when you were at a loss? And I put natural beauty because, you know, I demonstrate what I fucking believe in. I don't believe women should be walking around with a fucking face full of goddamn makeup on, wasting their time an hour every fucking day. No. Not. You know, of course I can touch it up, but I wanted to do this video instead. I wanted to do this video instead of fucking go put a bunch of bullshit on my face. So, and it looks like I'm tired, that's because I don't sleep. So, branding. Yes. If my brand was a certain niche, because people talk about niching down, so I put Chris's Cakes, right? If this was my brand, then what would my content be? What would my brand be about? Okay, well, you either believe in high fructose corn syrup, right? You don't. Number one thing, if I'm looking at a fucking cake and you have like all this bullshit, no. So, relevant, yes. Sugar, organic. What's in your cake? How do you make this fucking cake? I can make a cake, but I don't know like I don't know all that. And I can make it from like flour, yes, and sugar, the from scratch stuff, but like not an organic cake. I haven't been that far, but this is just for this example, okay? But your brand, you know, teach people how to make their own fucking cake. Because people like me, I'll watch it. I want to know how to make a cake. I'm not gonna fucking make the cake because I'm not an expert at that shit. And it'll look like the Leaning Tower of Giza, you know? And I don't want to do all that fucking work just for it to look like shit, right? So, teaching people how to do the thing that you do gives you more respect. You're not, what is that term? Gatekeeping. You're not withholding information, right? So, relevant. Like for my brand, even though it's personal growth, spirituality, business, family, health, right? Anime, that's not, I like it, but that's not relevant at all. It's not. I mean, I can make it relevant because, you know, I stopped watching TV until I found like a good anime show. But nobody gives a fuck about that, right? I barely care about that, you know? That's just something that I'll do if I can't sleep. Now, fighting, how is that relevant to personal growth? Because I've been through a lot of fucking battles. And I learned resilience through physical fighting, through mental fighting. So that's relevant. You know, accounting goes into the business. That's what I'm doing for college, accounting. Easy shit for me. Is it relevant? It's relevant to the business aspect. And if I want to go into accounting, right? But I don't want to niche down in accounting, okay? If I talk about it, it's probably going to be on a personal level, not like a business level, because accounting, you do your fucking finances right now. You don't run a business, but you have finances anyways. Accounting, you know? So personal, yes. Business, personal growth, I mean, I feel like once you've gone through a lot of shit and you have such character and you don't You're not the type of person to fit in with a normal fucking business establishment. So what are you gonna do? A lot of people want to own a business so they can make a fuck ton of money. But money is not a strong why. Money is not going to really push you like that, motivate you. There's a difference between needing motivation and having determination. That's a driving force that separates the people that lose and the people that win. Yes, of course, you only lose when you give up, right? So even if you have to keep motivating yourself until you have that determination, then, do what works for you. I just feel determined, but I'm at the point where, let me use this nice Michael Kors bullshit to wipe this shit off, okay? Because guess who doesn't care about that stuff? Me. Okay. Because, clothes. It's not relevant to my brand, okay? Okay. And Alex Hermanzi talks about this, right? How I think he does. Anyways, most people when they start shit, they take the leap of faith, right? And then they fall on their face, right? I was gonna draw something very messed up. Jesus, let's not do that. And the thing about going through so much is that you have a dark sense of humor. So that's part of my brand too. But I feel like I'm the perfect person. I'm one of the perfect people to talk about personal development and growth and all of this stuff because I've been through so much and I've conquered so much, and there's not a lot of things that I haven't been through. And guess what? I am actually fucking happy. Of course there's shit that I'm accomplishing and I'm doing, but I'm fucking doing it. Okay, so most people take the leap of faith, great. But then when they hit the bottom and they start pushing up, the rock uphill bullshit, most people quit because it's too hard. And the people that motivate themselves to push it up have to keep motivating themselves. They have to push against their own mind to push this rock uphill, right? And yes, it does work. You can fight against yourself, but determination feels a lot different. You're like, I don't even give a fuck if I gotta push this up this big ass fucking hill. We're gonna do it. Let's go. Let's get this shit. You got this. You, just go. Okay, this is what we're doing today. Let's get it. Not oh my god, this fucking rock is so goddamn heavy. I don't want to do this shit. What the fuck? Why is it way over there? And then you drag your ass out of bed. So, what does this have to do with your brand, right? Because a lot of people want to say, what is your why? What is your dream, your vision? And there's more than you develop a business culture, right? That's funny to me. Anyways, you know when you've been through so much, you just laugh at stupid shit. Just to laugh. Not really just to laugh, but you know, it's the... I probably shouldn't be, you know, wearing this. I don't even know how much this costs. Whatever. Don't care. So yes, if there's more than you, more than one, more than you create a business culture, okay? And that culture could be you treat the people in your business like family. If you have a good family. I want to reiterate that, okay, just in case. Like have family meetings, right? Okay, and if some person drops off and go off the fucking deep end, you have to decide what you want to do with that family member. Are you trying to get them out of your company and find them another job over there? What are you trying to do? A lot of people get caught up in firing people, right? But I feel like they're just not invested in the dream. They're not sold on the dream, or they have some problems that they need help with. And if your family needs help, are you just gonna fucking dismiss them over money? Like, what is the actual issue? Whenever my last job, when I was manager and all that, I would take the fucking time to make sure all of the people that I oversaw, they were good. Because I know once they're good mentally, they do their job fucking good. So I took the time to make sure that they're not bringing in bullshit, because a lot of people don't leave the fucking baggage at the door just to pick it up after work. A lot of people can't compartmentalize like that. Their mind is ruminating on their bullshit. So I made sure there was no bullshit for their fucking mind to ruminate on. Like, let's talk about this. Let's, you know, get that out of the way so we can work, so we can do our job better, right? But what is the vision? Because if the vision is just to make money, that rock, you know, I'm gonna be looking heavy as fuck. I'm gonna feel heavy as fuck pushing that shit up the hill, you know? For some money. That's why people like let the rock fucking crush them, because they're so focused on money. Money is not the deeper purpose. There's a lot of ways to make money instead of pushing this ball up the hill, like the boulder, you know, up the hill. Like, so why are you fucking doing that? Why are you doing that? My dream is to change some systems in place so this society can actually thrive. Excuse me. And in my book, I discuss it a little bit further. I'm not trying to get banned from YouTube or, you know, like, I'm only on YouTube, but I'm not trying to get, you know. But that's my vision. That's something that I've had in my mind for years since I was a child. I thought I was just gonna change like people's state and perspective through my book and give them like hope for the future and what our future is going towards, right? But I have all this knowledge on how to make our society better. And why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I help those who were like me, who was, homeless in high school, had to feed myself in high school, starving in high school, and, all that bullshit in high school. And then, of course, all the bullshit before high school, like childhood trauma. What did I do to overcome? And what can I do to help those, so that doesn't happen to someone again? No one should have to fucking starve and go to school. No one should have to fucking figure out which couch they're gonna fucking sleep on in high school. Because I definitely don't sleep on concrete. But, that's another. People shouldn't have to. And what about the veterans? They shouldn't have to sleep on fucking concrete. They shouldn't have to sleep at a park. And I've thought about this since I was very young. So yes, that's something that I know I was put here to do, is to have systems in place. And it's more complex than that, but I'm just trying to give you like the gist of like what my dream is, what my vision is, And I already know how to solve all these problems that you're like, nah. I already know, because I've fucking thought about it for years, okay? It's just I can't get that much in depth with it. But read my book and you'll see some shit. So what is your dream? My dream of having a utopia for all, That boulder don't feel like anything. The boulder feels like a little rock in a backpack. And I'm just hiking up this hill. I'm just going. I'm going. Keep on going. Keep on swimming. Yeah, but keep on going. Like, that's what that feels like to me. Now, sometimes life does throw me like a curveball while I'm hiking up this hill, I'm like trying to dodge some shit, but that's besides the point. It happens. Stay on your toes. Pivot. Where are we going? But yes. Let me see if there's something else I wanted to touch on. I'm not gonna go into like color schemes and the normal bullshit. Okay, I'm not doing that. The main thing really is you demonstrate what you believe in. You being authentic, you demonstrate that. Why do you think I don't wear makeup in most of my videos? Is it authentic to strut around my house with a face full of fucking makeup on? No, it's not. Do I care? No, because people who are drawn to me shouldn't care about what I put on my face. You either get value and you learn something from it, or you don't. Like, what does my face have to fucking do with something? I'm not here to be pretty for you. Yes, I can boost my subscribers and my likes and comments if I fucking wear something slutty and have a face full of makeup on. But I don't believe in that. I want to actually demonstrate what I believe in, and I do. So I'm happy with that. That's my morals and my integrity. I'm not going to put on a face, a mask, and present some shit that's covered in gold, sparkly glitter, whatever. So I'd rather take care of my skin and my hair than burn it, than put all this shit on it because society tells me to. Yeah. So my brand, my personal growth, I've been going against the grain. I have been. So yes, you can write. I guess I'll show this too. Who are you? Must keep the relevancy in mind. What have you experienced? Even in the cake example, you could be like, hey, I experienced being a shitty baker. Right with the, what is it, Betty Crocker? You know? No? It's not Debbie. Little Debbie? No, that's not it. Whatever. Cakes. What have you experienced? Okay. And for mine, trauma. And I can go into like what trauma, not going to save some time. All of them, all of the above. Meh, you know, trauma experiences. I have countless of them. Okay, and how I made it through that. I could talk about that, right? Okay, business. Obviously, I'm making a brand video, so I know fucking some shit about business. Obviously, I was promoted. Not obviously, but I was promoted within 6 months at my last job, so. And it was a big company, right? And so I have this experience in business and this experience in business. We're just doing squiggle lines to save time, okay? What experience do I have with, I guess that's trauma. Hold on. Family. Overcoming trauma and patterns because I don't want to give my children the trauma, right? Give them the patterns that I've had to overcome, right? So I can talk about my experiences around that because it's personal growth. It has a fucking point to it. It's how I've grown personally. And spiritual, right? God. I can talk about my experiences in church. You know, experiences in church, experiences with science, and then I went to spirituality because it's all connected. It's all connected, okay? Yes, and then what you have to keep what's relevant. So like fun activities. Fun. That's kind of relevant, but not really. Like, I'm not gonna talk about fishing. Cause I don't know the in-depth bullshit to fishing. I like fishing, but like not going to talk about camping, not going to talk about, you know, bullshit that like it's not relevant, you know. Do you see my point? It's not relevant. Branding. You are your brand, but it's mainly how you do business, how you show up. And it's not like how you show up in a, I mean, to me it's not. To me it's not. You show up with a face full of makeup. I still know my fucking shit without a face full of makeup. It's not required. I like Dr. Jordan Peterson and his take on makeup in the workplace. Because it's true. Why do I need to look good with a face full of fucking makeup on and red lipstick and why? When I worked at the, you know, large corporation and whatever, people would be like, oh, you barely wear makeup. Because I would have like eyeliner and mascara on. I do the bare minimum, okay? The bare minimum. Like, no shit. Like, yes, I look presentable. This is an expensive shirt. Can you tell that? I don't know. Don't care. Because I feel like if you actually get value out of this, you're gonna like it anyways. If you actually like the shit that's coming out of my fucking mouth, you're gonna follow and subscribe and, you know, support it anyways. Yes. I would prefer to look like this than look like a prostitute on camera. Even though looking like a prostitute would get me more views and subscribers and all of that, but to me it's not ethical. Just for, like, I don't want people following me because they want to see my tits hanging out of my shirt. I know. You demonstrate who you are, having strong boundaries and morals, standing on principle when it's actually fucking time to stand on principle. That shit matters. Who you are to your customers fucking matters. If you don't treat them if you don't treat them well, it's gonna show. Point blank, period. If you don't treat your employees well, it's gonna show. Period. I don't want to do business with anyone that, there's a lot of companies actually I stopped buying from because they treat their employees like shit. Corporations mainly, but they treat their employees like shit. And now is the time to put your money where your mouth is. What are you actually buying into? What are you supporting with your money, with your time, with your energy? Because that does matter. That's why I don't watch. I have nothing against prostitutes, by the way. But in a business setting, no. Not this business setting, you know? Like, I don't promote lust and desire, right? So, no. I want people to have control over themselves. I don't want people to just be frenzied out, because that's what this society pushes. So, what are you demonstrating? You are your brand. You are your business. It starts with you first. That's why I push personal development and awareness and clarity. And if you had a great childhood, great. You still need to know who you are whenever shit hits the fan. You still need to know how to push yourself. you still need to learn how to rebound quickly when something happens. You need to still learn how to get to a normal resting state, your nervous system. When your fucking anxiety and stress spikes and, you know, you're in that fight or flight, you still need to get back to baseline. You still need to learn techniques to help you out, because you first need to get you before you can, in my opinion, successfully run a company. You need to get you first. And mastering all these aspects about yourself is just going to have you be a better leader for your company, for your brand, however big your business brand is. Because business is human interaction. Business is human to human. All you really need is good people skills. And now it's kind of changing because it's all like online. So like I have phenomenal people skills. So I'm converting that into technology. Yeah. I'm learning. I'm doing it though. I am learning. I am doing it. I am going up with my backpack, you know? So, yes. I know this helped. Even if it was just entertainment and I got you to smile. I wasn't trying to make you smile, but you know. You can use the cake example, okay? If you're into video games, you know, talk about graphics. You know, just gaming shit, okay? I don't know a lot of that. If you're... Yes. But... it doesn't take a whole lot of time to gain someone's trust. But to keep their trust takes consistency. And you have to be fully aware, because you could do one thing that's fucked up and it'll ruin your entire reputation, right? And it'll be harder for you to bounce back from that. You just be chilling with somebody who fucked up, and that can ruin your reputation. So you definitely have to be cautious. Not really cautious, but aware. You have to be aware, right? Of who you are affiliated with, of what you are demonstrating. I'm not that concerned about who I'm affiliated with, because I demonstrate what I'm teaching. I know if someone fucks up, they can recover from that. I know that we're human.
I am pure consciousness.
We're human. And pure consciousness, but whatever. That was just a reminder on my phone. I give grace to people who fuck up. Not gonna be like, you fucked up, I never want to see you again. Never talk to me again. People always want to talk about the Bible. Okay, well, what did Jesus do? He knew Judas was gonna fuck him up. And what did he do? Right? What happened? It's not a riddle. But a lot of people don't love like that. A lot of people don't give grace like that. A lot of people want to say a lot of shit that sounds good, but when shit actually goes down, they don't stand on their morals and principles. And you demonstrate what you believe in. And there's people who can see through the bullshit if you're trying to just regurgitate bullshit. So yes, I'd rather have my brand under like personal development and like I'm a fractal. Because I'm a fractal isn't just about me, it's about all of us. A utopia for all of us, not just fucking me. I want my legacy my legacy to be more than me. Right? Like I don't know how to make the best cakes ever. But if I did, but I don't, you know. Believe in what you're doing. Believe in your product. Believe in your services. If you don't believe in it, it will show. First and foremost, like if you don't believe in it, it will show. And if you're just throwing shit out there to throw shit out there and make money, that will show too. And that will, I don't want to say it'll tarnish your reputation, but it will affect your business in the long run. I mean, in my opinion, it will. That's why I don't just throw shit together to sell. I mean, my book is amazing, so that's like the only product that I have. But it's fucking amazing. And I 100% believe in it, right? I know there's some things that I could have done better because I'm just thinking about like the references at the end of the book, but it wasn't like, it's not as important, right? As like the book itself was in between those pages. So I'm looking at the book, it's over there. Believe in your product, it shows. If you're just throwing shit together just to sell shit, it shows. If you have no faith in what you're doing, of course that hill is gonna look giant as fuck, and that rock is gonna feel giant as fuck. I don't believe that we're here to just make monies and die. So, what is your why? And it better be a damn good fucking why. Because when you're pushing that boulder uphill and you're getting shit thrown at you, life, you know? And that's why a lot of people give up too, because life throws a lot of shit at you sometimes and you feel like you're fucking playing dodgeball while you're going up this goddamn hill. Then what are you gonna do? You're either gonna enjoy the game or let the fucking boulder roll down. And your why is so important. That vision, that dream is what not only gets you up the hill, but also gets your team, right? They will buy into you and your company and what you're doing because they believe in your dream too. Not everyone wants to run a business, and that's okay. That's okay. Some people do like taking orders, and like not in like the McDonald's sense, but in like the Just tell me what I can do so I can do it, you know, and like an assistant. And some assistants get paid damn good money for doing assistant shit. Right? I know I would pay my assistant fucking amazing. Amazing. Take some of this off my hands, you know? I would pay a fucking nanny amazing money just so I know my kids are well taken care of while I'm working. So, demonstrate it. And you not only demonstrate it in your business, but you do it outside of your business. Like if you knew someone who ran a multi-million, whatever, ran a company, but they were abusive towards their wife and kids. And that got out. Ruined the reputation. Because people actually do have decency. People would care more about that wife and kid, right? And people now, especially now, want to do business with others who want, I want to say prosperity for all, but that was probably like too, you know, I believe in it. Of course I do, because I already know how we can all get there. And I know people are like, oh, but what about this and what about this? I got it. That's not you. That's not something you can worry about. But my dream does involve everybody, even if they don't realize it. Well, it involves a lot of society. A lot. So, what is your dream? What is your vision? What is something that you've always wanted to do or you thought about as a child? Because usually it comes to us when we're children. I always wanted to restructure the fabric of society and write a book. But you know, and if you feel like you need more character development, go do it. Go climb a mountain. Actually push yourself. See who you are when you're fucking grouchy and tired and you don't want to move your legs, but you're forcing your fucking one foot in front of the other, you know? Because once you break that constraint, it's like a new you emerges. And you can only experience that when you experience that. Right? When you get the shit beat out of you, you either fucking lay down and take it, or you get up and do something about it. I don't know if that was probably a good example. It was just whatever. You either bitch and complain, or you fucking get that bitch, you know? You get that task done. You get it. You get on it. You got it. Done. On to the next one. One fucking step in front of another, you know? Climbing up a goddamn mountain. And the funny thing about the mountain is it's not even that fucking high. Because anything is possible. And Especially if you listen to like your intuition and your guidance system. Your fucking dream can happen, wham bam, thank you ma'am, tomorrow. Do you even have all the shit that you need in place for all that to happen? This is for beginners. So if you have like, I'm sure if you have a large company, you have your shit together. You should. And if you don't, you're probably doing your finances wrong. And I can say that because I'm very good at accounting. Okay? Because that's why a lot of business fails, is because they don't know how to fucking take care of their money. Because we are not taught to take care of our money while we are in high school. Why do we have to pay somebody to do our fucking taxes? I don't, but, you know. Shouldn't that be information to us all? Shouldn't we all know that? We live in this society, and yet society has these rules that, like, well, not society, but the tax laws that people don't fucking know. Yeah, we pay taxes every day. Pay taxes on the shit at the store. Pay taxes fucking everywhere. Anyways. So yes, even if you're just starting out, definitely keep an eye on your money and where you're spending your money, where you're spending your time to, your energy. I like Alex Hermanzi's, a statement that he made, that it's usually people focus on like 10 different fucking things when they really need to focus on 3 and make sure those are like the best fucking 3 things. Like marketing, you know, ads, and the product itself. The basic shit. Anyways, I think that's all. That's all, folks. Whatever. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how branding was explained to me. There's a lot you can talk about. I mean, if you've experienced a lot, I mean, and you've, how old are you? How much have you experienced? Okay, is it relevant to what you're doing? The cake example. You'd be like, me and my dad used to make cakes. You know? It's a cute example. It is. I wish I had a daddy to make a cake with, right? I don't know why that kind of caught me off guard. It was a cute, like, little display that I had in my mind about a dad and child baking a cake. I love families. I love, like, nice, cute little shit like that. That's cute. But I love it. Like, I would never shit on someone who has a good childhood. That's amazing, you know? But with that experience, with that, like, yes, you can talk about you and your dad making cakes. Is how you got into it. That's an experience that is, you can share with people. How you got into, if you have a marketing company, how you got into marketing, right? Show people proof that you know what you're talking about, right? you can tell that I've grown a lot. That's why I'm in personal development, because I've been through so much shit. I don't know, like the fucks to give were beaten out of me at an early age, okay? The fucks to give were gone, right? People can judge me all they want to. Like, you know, you can see I have experience. It shows. I am who I am, right? And once you demonstrate that you know what the fuck you're talking about and your experiences, like you're not lying about what you've been through and the things that you've experienced, like your dad and you cooking in the kitchen, whatever. Bring that out. Then your love for cooking developed more when you baked a cake for the homeless people and they absolutely fucking loved it, because, you know, once you bake a bunch of shit, you gotta give it away. You know, my neighbor actually gives away a lot of, I think she sells it actually. Sells some goodies and stuff. She doesn't sell it to me because I don't eat the stuff, but yeah. So with your brand, these are all things that you can share. Who are you? Why should people listen to you? What has been your journey? You know, what can you teach people? What are you demonstrating? So, I know this helped. I enjoyed it. I know you did too. You probably did. You stuck around, so thank you. Thank you for watching. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get used to this, but I'm sure I will. I'm sure my people's skills will convert into this, because people's skills is easy for me. People love talking about themselves. I would literally just get people to talk to me and ask the right questions and be actively listening and, you know, share an experience here or there. But usually it's people talking to me. You see a different side of me because I'm doing most of the talk. I'm doing all the talking, okay? All of the talking. And usually when I have conversations, they do all the talking. The majority of the talking is on them. And that makes me happy, right? So, if you have any tips on how to do people skills with a camera outside of communication skills, right? Because I got the active listening part down, okay? Communicating my point across, you know. No. I'm gonna go with it. Thanks for watching.